Hi, my name is Yasin Glif, and this video is about the latest deal between PPF Telecom and Etisalat from the United Arab Emirates. The deal was announced yesterday, and I will just read through the press release that was issued by PPF Telecom, and then I will comment on some of the issues that were mentioned there. So let's start with the beginning of the press release. So the deal is about a 50% plus one share in PPF Telecom, and includes the assets in Bulgaria, Hungary, Serbia, and Slovakia. The transaction parties have agreed that Etisalat will pay €2,150,000,000 upfront at the closing for the acquisition of the 50% stake plus one share. And then there may be an additional earnout payments of up to 350 million within 3 years after the closing if PPF Telecom exceeds certain financial targets. This is subject to a clawback of up to 75 million euro if such financial targets are not achieved. So the first comment is that the deal actually is about almost all assets, but not all assets of PPF in the telecom sector, because the Czech assets, namely the O2 operator and Cetin, the infrastructure company, they are not part of this deal. So they will acquire all of 50% plus one of the shares in PPF Telecom. In those companies, in PPF Telecom companies, there are also other shareholders. A while ago, the Sovereign Fund of Singapore invested, and they acquired 30% of Cetin, the infrastructure companies. So they have that. The other investor is in Hungary, where 25% of the shares of Yeto Hungary are owned by Antenna, which is a state-owned infrastructure company that actually owns the huge masts that are translating the TV signal in Hungary. So after the transaction in all companies of the group, you will have those four shareholders. You will have PPF, you will have Etisalat, Sovereign Fund of Singapore, and also Antenna from Hungary. Speaking about the deal, it's very well structured because there are two issues that are normally discussed when you do a deal. The first question is about the past. The second is about the future. How are they solved normally? So about the past, it's normal for big businesses to have some outstanding issues. Let's say they might be in court with somebody, let's say a vendor, over a commercial issue that they're discussing, and they're in court. And of course, there is an option to win the case in the court or lose the case. So what happens when you have this and there is a deal? Normally, the buyer says, fine, the risk is X amount of money. We will put that amount of money in escrow account. And if the company wins the case, then it's fine, the price stays. If it loses the case, then we take that money from the escrow account. And this is easy done in all kinds of deals around the world. About the future, normally when you sell a company, you want to say that the future is bright. And of course, you're making certain projections about future revenue and how much you will spend in the future. And there are different points of view from the buyer and the seller. In this deal, it's perfect because actually they have agreed, the two parties, that if within 3 years certain financial targets are achieved, then PPF will get an additional payment of 350 million euro. If they don't achieve those targets, then there will be a payment going in Etisalat way of 75 million euro. And in order to ensure that this target is reached. The guarantee for this is the current CEO of PPF Telecom, Balesh Sharma, who was appointed actually by PPF, and he will keep his position, actually ensuring that he can achieve the targets within 3 years. Let's continue with the press release. So, what is said by the representatives of the buyer is that the priority is remains to be focused on the expanding of the customer base. This is statement coming from the CEO of Etisalat, Hatem Doidar. And the partnership with PPF exemplifies our commitment to seeking new opportunities for collaboration and investment opportunities that will further accelerate our expansion. The interesting thing in the statement is that he's saying, and I quote, "We aim to realize synergies, optimize procurement efficiencies, and enhance customer offerings, establishing our position as a leading global tech group." Let me give you an example. It's a different story if you're a small group, let's say of 4 operators, or you're a group of more than 10 operators and you go to somebody like Nokia and Ericsson and you buy telecom equipment, or you go to a company that produces mobile phones like Samsung and Apple. It's a different story because you buy more, and then of course you get a better price if you're a bigger client, and this is totally normal. So there will be a lot of things that will be good financially coming out of the synergies between Etisalat and the newly acquired companies from PPF Telecom. Also, I was searching for a statement, official statement from Etisalat. I haven't found it on their website, but probably they've sent something to the media, because on one website I found a quote from the chairman of the board, and I will read it. You will see it on the screen, and I will comment a bit on what he said. So it comes from Jassim Mohamed Obaid Bu Ataba Al-Zabi, who is chairman of Etisalat, and he says, I quote, "We are delighted to announce Etisalat's strategic expansion into the European market. With this move, we join forces with PPF to build and expand our international footprint in the attractive Central and Eastern Europe region and beyond. It is the next step of our transformation into a global technology group, offering Etisalat multiple avenues to roll out its leading suite of B2B and B2C digital products in the Central and East Europe with significant synergies. The PPF Telecom portfolio, spanning 4 countries, exhibits a well-balanced structure underpinned by robust macroeconomic fundamentals and stable currencies. The countries of its operations are characterized by regulatory stability, healthy competition, and highly attractive returns, positioning them among the most promising in Europe," said Jassim Mohamed Obaid Bu Ataba Al-Zabi, chairman of Etisalat. So the short comment on this is, of course, as it's a telecom group, they have their own services that they are offering both to consumers and to businesses. And of course, they're looking at offering them in Central and Eastern Europe. Just to give you the perspective of what kind of person the chairman is, and it goes also, he shares similar experience with some of the members of the board of Etisalat. He's, of course, the most senior one. And I will show you his picture, and I will quote some of the position he holds. You'll see that he's quite influential in the United Arab Emirates. So, Jassim Al-Zabi has a master's degree in business administration from London Business School. He is chairman of the Abu Dhabi Department of Finance. He is member of the Abu Dhabi Executive Council, vice chairman of Abu Dhabi Holding Company, vice chairman of Central Bank of United Arab Emirates, chairman of the Abu Dhabi Pension Fund, board member of Abu Dhabi Investment Authority, board member of Abu Dhabi National Oil Company, and board member of First Abu Dhabi Bank. You will see on the screen he holds also several other positions. So I think this is a serious investment. Also, I think within 3 years, Etisalat probably will want to buy out at least PPF, if not also the other shareholders in the group, but this is to be seen. And of course, we will have to wait to see how the companies will develop in the future, and especially for us in Bulgaria, to see how Yetel will become probably a better company with more offerings coming from the knowledge of Etisalat. And the other thing which is important when you distinguish between a fund that is operating a business, in this case the telecom business, and a true telecom. In the telecom business, you're much better if you understand the business and if you're a big player, because then all the big suppliers, be it Nokia, Ericsson, Apple, Samsung, or Amazon Web Services, or whoever that might be your partner in, let's say, content offerings like Netflix and HBO. If you have a big group, then all the new services come to you first. Everybody wants, if you're a big company like Apple, Amazon, you want, and Nokia, Ericsson, you want to work with big clients. And not that you don't want to get some small deals along the way, but it's faster and it's easier when you are working with a big client and you make more money. So I think that for sure Etisalat will want to invest more in Europe, and this is just the first step. Of course, it's not that easy to find opportunities, but when they will arise, probably they will take advantage of them. One of the things that we might expect is a rebranding, because right now 3 of the companies are using the Yetel brand, which is own brand of PPF Telecom, but the company in Slovakia is using O2. Just to explain, normally when you use somebody else's brand, in this case O2, you pay certain amount of money for the rights of using the name. And in the future, I would expect that probably we will see another rebranding of all the telecoms to the Etisalat brand, but this is normal and it's connected to being efficient and keeping the money within the group. This is everything so far about the deal. Let's follow what will happen in the future. That was all for me. See you again tomorrow.